stoked. We got new merch in. Let me tell you all about it. We'll have some of this at C10s in the city too, but we've got new Teddy Stepside tees. We still got a few of the Fleet side in, but we got the Teddy Stepside tees. We got new black Coyote team tees. So they're black and sort of tannish with the UBT logo on the back. We've got the new Keeping It Classic Squarebody tee. It's a little bit revised. It's got a little bit more of a tannish looking logo versus the bright yellow. And then we brought the Yam Mississippi Mud t-shirts back. We have not had these in but one time. We still got a few of the wash denims in, but we brought back the Yam for summertime. These just look killer, and I'm super proud of these. Like I said, long hauling hat. We've got some other tees in stock too that we've typically had, but this will take care of all the back orders, and we've got some for new orders. So head over to unitedbytrucks.com. Get you a little merch for the giveaway. If you don't know what we're talking about our Hot Rod Square Body giveaway, Mississippi Mud. All the details and official rules are at unitedbytrucks.com/giveaway. All right, guys, before we jump into this video, I am so stoked about the response to the Mississippi Mud giveaway. You guys have blown us away, and I want to tell you that we're doing 5-time multiplier on entries for the giveaway starting right now through the end of the giveaway. What that means is every $5 you spend, you get 5 entries instead of 1. So that's our thanks to you guys for making this so awesome, so much fun. And another big thank you for all the response on the UBT Action Line podcast. We got a new channel. You want to head over to the link in the description or search United by Trucks Action Line podcast on YouTube and go subscribe to that channel. That's where all the new UBT Action Line podcast episodes will live. If you're looking for more information on the giveaway, unitedbytrucks.com/giveaway. It's got all your information, official rules, no purchase necessary, as always, and lower 48 residents. Giveaway ends May 15th. All those good details that you need to know. And just wanted to say thanks for all the support. Now, let's get into messing with mud with my buddy Eric Evans from Queen City Speed.
Like Monday Night Nitro Wild Wrestling Wild.
Monday Night Nitro, I like that.
I'm about to remember that.
Monday Night Nitro, wow.
So we're here in Georgia. We're at Queen City Speed. This is Eric Evans, and today we're going to be tuning Mississippi Mud. Eric's going to be tuning Mississippi Mud, and this is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. I really appreciate you taking the time, man.
No sweat, dude.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be great.
Yeah,
it's a killer truck, so I'm excited. So
I hear you actually entered into the giveaway.
I did. I bought a Keeping It Classic shirt,
nice.
The green one.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Have you got it yet?
Oh yeah.
You already got it in the mail and everything?
Yeah, I already got it.
Sweet.
And I got it, and it's on those like super awesome. I'm trying to remember the brand of the
Comfort
shirt.
colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they are phenomenal shirts.
They are awesome.
Yes.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't got your order yet, it's coming, but glad you already got yours.
Yeah, I got mine.
Shout out to my wife, Sarah, for making that happen.
Good job, Sarah.
Well, before we get into jumping on mud, tell everybody a little bit about your shop. How long you been here?
I've been in this location for 21 years. I've been a hot rod guy my whole life. I'm 50. So my dad was a hot rod guy, kind of, he would just flip cars, but we grew up, he had a square body truck. Actually he had a 67 to 72. It was like a 72 work truck as a kid, and then into a 78 work truck. And that was the truck that I built my first engine for. But that's a story for a little later. But but yeah, we've been here for 21 years. I've done car stereo for a bazillion years. I ran a speed shop here in town for like 5 years, and worked for a street rod shop, and then was here full time after the economy tanked. And then I got the job offer of a lifetime to go to work at Detroit Speed. So I went up there and worked for the Tuckers, had a great time, learned a bunch of stuff, got to work with probably the best guys in the industry.
Yes.
Plus you get to bump elbows with all the best guys in the industry.
Yeah.
And we built our core crew of guys at the shop at that time. We built Street Machine of the Year, two SEMA Battle of the Builders won, the first one and then the next one. We third place in another, Street Machine of the Year, you know, Triple Crown winner.
Yes.
You know, they ended up like a grade 8 with the Camaro we did. Like tons of, like, just you name it.
Yeah,
the one Optima stuff, yeah, everything, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went to work for the Johnsons at Johnson Hot Rod Shop in Alabama. And got to go to Bonneville, which was a lifetime deal, a lifetime goal deal.
Yeah.
Got to do that, had a ball. And then came back and started doing my stuff full time again and doing contract work for other shops.
Yep.
So whether it was some wiring or some tuning or some sorting out or that, we traveled around, did a bunch of that. The Blazer was my younger brother's that I lost like 10 years ago. He bought it 2 or 3 years before he died, but it's a 75 full vert. It's got a little bit of a lift and the fenders were butchered up. So we got the bushwhacker flares to cover that up. The hood was destroyed. Todd Sheriff hooked me up with this kind of patina beat up kind of dented hood. So, but it was way better than what I had. But it's got a roller cam Vortec head, 96 not to the 99 style engine in it.
Right.
700, it's got 4-wheel disc brakes. And we're about to do crossover steering, a DSC steering gear, the least amount of off-road design leafs that I can do and still get the crossover steering underneath it.
Yeah, man.
Tim at Best Damn Shop Around is going to rebedline my roof white. My brother had the upholstery done right before he passed away. And I'm torn. I've got like some pieces to swap it. I don't know if I'm gonna swap it. Part of me's like build a 400 small block and put in it. You know,
I love that. And it's just cool. It's a full top.
It's full top.
It's full
and
top.
Like the next design of shop shirts is going to have like a beach theme with a Blazer with the roof off.
Oh.
And I've got a 82 Stars and Stripes Mastercraft, and the goal is to be able to just pull the boat to the lake with the roof off. You know, and it's like a trip to the lake from my house is like 3 miles, but you know, the roof off on the Blazer and the boat and my Great Dane in there, and
dude,
we'll have a ball. You know,
that's the ticket, man.
But
I love it.
Yeah, it's like the tag is because it was my brother's Blazer.
Yep.
And I'm an Alma Brothers nerd, so it's kind of like a two-way mix. You know.
Eric, I love it, man. You got some rich history and things that you're just into that I love.
Yeah,
man. It's so cool.
It's music, cars, and engines, you know, and eating. You know, I like to eat. So. But like the music is my kind of getaway from this. When you do this, I've done it my whole life, so you can't do it 24/7, 365. You got to get away.
Yeah, man.
Me and my wife really love live music, and we go to a lot of shows. And I always assembled a bunch of engines, but I had guys that I leaned on for the machining. 2023, both of my machine guys retired basically. And I started acquiring equipment, and luckily they've helped me learn how to use it, that and YouTube, and you know,
of course,
lots of friends, but learn how to use it. And so we've been full-time machining all of our builds for a little over a year in-house, which is way cool.
So but you've been back full-time here since 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
So assembling engines, tuning like crazy. Yeah. Tuning like crazy. I mean, and you're doing it on LS, LT, and even fuel injected small block.
On like a Holley, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Mopar, Ford, GM, big block, small block, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Turbo, blower, blah, blah, blah. Stock computer, on the stock ECM side, we really only do GM.
Yep.
I quit trying to mess with the others.
I get it.
I stay in my lane. But then anything basically on standalone. We do some Mega Squirt and, you know, some Link and a little bit of Fuel Tech and, you know, that kind of thing. But like,
primarily be on the Holley side of things.
The Holley's the ticket. Like in my opinion, for my core customer, which is your street car, cruising, race car kind of guy, the Holley does everything. Some of the other stuff is a little more race car only, and I don't do a ton of race car only tuning. I mean, I can do it, but it's the street car, you know, nowadays everything's a street car.
Yeah, right.
But
well, especially with the LS, I mean, that's got to be sort of. Well, let me ask you: is that your bread and butter from an engine building and from a tuning perspective?
It's mostly all LS, and it's really gotten in the last 2 years a bunch of LT.
Yeah.
So this is part of a, like, there's 3 guys from Monroe that I've done a bunch of stuff for, and they all had to one-up each other. So one guy, he has a Cop Tahoe. They all bought Tahoes at auction, and one has a big Cam 5.3 LT. The other one has a 6.2 big cam, long tubes, converter, gears, the whole deal. And then Preston here, he had to one-up them all, and he was like, how can I beat them? I said, we'll do you a stroker. He's like, what about a stroker and a supercharger? I said, that sounds like a plan, you know. So
what is this?
It's a 416 stroked L86. And then it's got an LT4 blower on it, all LT4 fuel system. But yeah, it's dangerous. Like it's I think it's got like, see, they got 410s or 456s in it, and like a 3600 converter. It's crazy. Like,
dang.
I mean.
And it's an old police.
Yeah, they bought like 5 of them, and they keep flipping them. And so, pretty neat deal. Matthew does a bunch of swaps. It's like MG Performance.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's all.
Matt George?
Matthew George.
Matthew George.
Yeah, so
I've heard of him.
We do. I tune all their stuff, and like.
Very cool.
Preston's a neat dude. He does a bunch of side-by-side performance stuff, and then he has a garage door business, and they're great dudes. The swap parts are coming around for the LT. I still prefer the LS. It just works better in a swap.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly LS, and then we dabble in a small block and a big block Chevrolet.
Very cool.
We have a Mustang shop that's right up the street that we do some mod motors for.
Very cool. I bet those are fun.
Yeah.
I love the way they sound.
There's nothing like a 0304 Cobra.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, as far as platforms go,
that's
a
cool.
pulleys and a fuel system, and you're 900 horsepower.
Yeah,
you know,
that's so cool. Well, guys, if you got a project that you need tuned, or even if you want an engine build, that's the one thing I love about what Eric does. Eric builds engines to sell, but he'll also take your parts in or help you project plan, as he calls it, and put an engine package together.
Yeah, we can put you a turnkey package together with, accessory drive, all fuel system that you just cut some hoses to length, kind of deal. And then even if you want to get your own parts, we can sit down, talk about your project, steer you in the right direction so you don't buy the wrong parts 3 times, and in essence you spend a whole lot more money. And I've seen between tuning 500 or 600 things a year, every year. You see I get to see all the problems. They don't call me out there when it's like, hey, can you come tune this? It's not like, oh, I put this in and everything works perfect.
Right.
You're always like, you got to troubleshoot something.
Yeah. So you know the parts that work.
Yeah. And there's certain things that do and certain things that don't, but
I love it. Well, the machining part of all of it, that's something that, you said you built your first engine when you were a kid.
Yeah, I was 14.
So have you always been interested in trying to be able to do all the machining part of it?
No, I wasn't. It never, I always thought it was cool. I loved the smell.
Yeah.
There was a place here in town, Brad's Machine Shop.
Yep.
He's a mentor of mine, but you walk in there and that Honan oil smell when you walk in there, it's something. And now I get to walk in my shop and it smells like Honan oil, which is phenomenal. Every morning I open the door and it's like, yes.
That's so cool.
But I never, I was intrigued, but I never wanted to really learn it. And then it's one of those things, the deeper you get into something, you almost have to do it.
Yeah.
When you start measuring everything down to the thousandths of an inch, you start realizing if I did this, or this one hole is half a thou smaller than this one, I could hone this one just a touch more. And now that I have all the tools, we can do stuff as perfect as possible.
That's cool.
As perfect as humanly possible. We really lean on, and I've bought all the right tools to really do the most ultimate job on an LS, LT, small block, big block Chevrolet.
Very cool.
I don't try to do anything else.
Yeah.
And I try to stay, stay in my lane.
Yep.
And plus, I can turn an engine around pretty quick because we're kind of based on doing nothing but LS stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes it real easy to get something in, go to work, get it done. I know the parts. The same thing like with a swap. You know the stuff that works, the cams that sound good, which I need to try some of yours.
Yeah, man, we'll get you one for sure.
But they work good, and you know that this valve spring's crap, this valve spring's good. You put the packages together and it works. And this is one of our C10 packages. Basically, this is a 5.3 that we bore out to a 5.7. We use LS6 GTO Corvette pistons, but we do them and they look like a small block Chevrolet, which is crazy to think you make something look like something else, but it really looks the part in an old car. So we do it single plane intake, 4-barrel billet throttle body, but you can use a regular carbureted style air cleaner on it. Coils are hidden under the thing. It looks the part, and it looks classic in a classic truck. And the plastic intake on an LS actually outperforms this, but it doesn't have the look. So the 20 horsepower you give up, you gain 50 horsepower in visual horsepower. VHP.
That's right.
Yeah, and then behind it is our surfacer. So this is what we surface heads and we square deck our blocks with. We have a fixture from a company called BHJ that's called a block true, and we actually, when we deck a block, it's perfectly 45 from the cam and crank center line. It's a pretty cool little fixture. Takes a little setup time, but in essence, we're not trying to do production machine work. We're trying to make the nicest piece that we can with our analog, what we like to call analog equipment. And then here, this is our cylinder hone. This is after we've bored the block, which we bore the block in this thing. I've got stuff piled all over. We bore the block here, and then we hone it to size here. And this is a LS7 we're doing for a 55 to 59 truck for a guy, local guy, that it's ready to wash and final assemble. And then behind it, this is the line hone. So this is how we true up the main journals where the crankshaft rides. It goes in here, and there's also some tooling. You can do a bunch of other stuff with it, but we really use it just for the mains. It has this great big mandrel, and it goes in there and it basically sands it to a perfect size. And then this is the rod hone that when you put pistons and rods together, you sometimes have to fit them. And actually the mandrel's in here now. If you've ever put an ATI balancer on an LS, you'll know that it's so tight that you'll never get it off. Well, this is what this mandrel does. We actually open it up so you could have a chance of ever getting it back off. Behind here is our mess of a assembly room kind of area, and my toolbox fetish.
Which is an impressive toolbox.
Yeah,
that's a wall of snap.
40 years of buying stuff, and then we got a little small mill that we use to really just make brackets or modify stuff with. And then next to it is one of my favorite things I've bought. It's a crankshaft balancer, but it's a neat deal, and I've got this fab table rolled in front of it, but it's a 80s era chassis with all new electronics and controls on it from a company called Turner Technologies. Really trick, ultra precise, and the tank is like, I mean, the base is basically concrete and steel. It's like 8,000 or 9,000 pounds. It warped the deck of my trailer when I went and got it in Orlando.
Whoa.
But it's the trickiest piece. It's so true, and it's the neatest deal. And it works 3-phase, and it'll spin the crank at like 900 RPM. And when you see a crank with bob weights on it spinning at 900 RPM, you're like, woo, get out of the way.
I love it.
And then next to it is our seat and guide machine that we do valve jobs on. It's a work in progress. This old equipment is like buying old trucks. You have to get it and kind of tune it up, and same with the valve grinder that's next to it. It's still in the restoration step, but it's a lot of the stuff we do gets a new cylinder head on it, so we don't use a whole lot of that, you know. But then this is a hot tank. Well, you'll hear it called a hot tank or a jet wash. It's basically like your kitchen dishwasher at 180 degrees with some detergent in it that Zep makes. And you can stick a whole block in there, turn it on, and I go do something else. And it's like having a full-time employee washing parts. You know, you just load parts in there and go to town. Cool. So it's really cool. It's been a lot of fun. It's been just like restoring an old truck or finding that magic classic in Mississippi, like, you know, that came from north of Panama City. This came from the depths of Alabama. The balancer came from Orlando. Surfacer came from West Palm. The hone came from like the northest part of West Virginia you've ever been to. You know, so it's been like 2 years of traveling and buying the right stuff, but it was, I had a 3-year plan to buy enough stuff, and in about a year I acquired it all with the magic deals. You know, it was like some of the deals were almost too good to be true. And
I think that's what a lot of guys are looking for, because somebody like me, you know, I know kind of about what I want to put together. I've got a friend, Evan Dobbins, who actually put this motor together and helps me do that kind of stuff. But it's you know, it's one of those things, once you get into doing this and doing it over and over and over, like, you really become to realize what the tried and true piece of it is, what parts are going to work every single time. And I think a lot of guys are looking for that. There's a lot of big name engine builders and engine shops, and I think there's so much room for a guy who's building their truck in a garage or building a car to go down the track, you know, that that needs somebody like you.
Yeah.
You know, that is accessible, that takes a lot of pride in the craft.
Everything I do, I care. I probably care too much about.
Yeah.
But you know,
that's okay. And
then I come from a real high-end autocross background, so I've got some high-end autocross customers. You know, just this year we hadn't quite finished it, but it'll be 3 engines for Brian Finch's Apex Predator chassis trucks. You know,
which are beasts.
Yeah, and these dudes. They're getting them and it's like, oh, we're driving this thing to Texas.
Yeah.
And then they're going to race it. And then they're going to beat the crap out of it.
And then drive it home. Yes.
And I was like, golly.
It's the best.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing.
And being kind of a DSE alumni, you know, the stuff has Detroit speed suspension on it, so you kind of feel a little touch to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, hey, we got a little DSE on here. It's the lower end.
Yeah.
But hey,
it's on there.
It's on there. It's DSE, and I've been really, impressed with the parts and DSEs. They've made some great stuff. So you're part of a really cool history. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's something I'm super duper proud of.
Yeah.
Like,
I bet.
Super. Like it was. We were both forum guys.
Yeah.
So. I was a ProTouring.com nerd, and we were all buddies, and we were all talked, and we went to Run to the Hills and all the stuff. You know, I had like a Pro Touring G-Body El Camino, and you were buddies with all of them, and then I got to work with all of them, and then it was like, this is, and you just, I won't say you're a snob, but you're kind of a snob. You're like, you know, you get to use the best stuff there is, and
best tools, best parts, best people, best budgets,
best customers. You know, because it all comes down to the customer.
Yeah.
You know, you can only do as good as your customer will let you. So the first part of doing this, you got to sync the timing. So you make sure your timing you're getting what you're commanding basically. So that's what we're going to do first. That's with any distributor-based tuning. This is kind of like the first part. So what I'm doing here, I'm just saving the initial file that's in here, so we can work from there. So if we completely mess it up, we can go back to where we started. Is it okay if I start it, Robbie?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Got a Lunati bootlegger cam in it. It's old hydraulic flat dapping. It's all the specs are right here.
I know what it is. It's a cool cam.
It sounds great, man.
Like, you talking about the glass backs.
I mean,
being a kid in my neighborhood, there was a guy that was like 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
His brother's my same age, and we grew up together. But his brother had a Ford Falcon, and it was like burgundy. It's like 64, 65.
Yeah.
Saw blades and glass packs, right?
Oh.
And he was like basketball player, and like right as we kind of got old enough to drive, he got a job at UPS, which at the time was like the job to have.
Job, yeah.
And I thought, this guy's got life by the horns. Glass packs on that Falcon, you know.
They're awesome, man. That was Mike Howell's suggestion. He's like, dude, the way we're building this thing, we got to put glass packs on this thing. Oh, we got to set up ultimate headers running through
that's all
glass
that.
packs. But hey, that's how we do it, man.
It fits the part, though.
It does fit the part. I think it does anyway.
I dig it. Like,
I appreciate you saying all
I really dig it.
Cool, man.
You know, coming from a guy who's built
everything,
$2.5, $3 million Camaros.
Yeah.
You know, this has got the vibe, dude.
It does. It's a special truck. It really is. I mean, it's not perfectly buttoned up in every way, shape, or form, but it's a cool truck you can get in and drive and not be scared of driving.
But I mean, the way it sounds, I wouldn't tell you, you go cruising into the varsity on a Tuesday night and this, dude, you're a superhero. Yes. You know, you might as well be like Hulk Hogan coming in with like the jam coming. You know,
I love it.
It's got it.
It's got the sound.
Like, I'm sure you listen to the Oil and Whiskey podcast.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, and like growing up, you know, Bobby, like Alan and all they're talking about, Bobby Alloway pulling into a show.
100%.
It was this. It's like, it comes in, it sits right, he's sitting in it, he looks cool in it, and his wife's just a smoke show at the time, and you're like, God, this guy has got it. You know, and you couldn't help but think he was the coolest guy in the world. That's why me and Alan and everybody thinks he's as cool as he is, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's what cool is.
Yeah.
Dude, I can already tell the throttle response is just miles better.
Yeah.
Miles better.
A part of these is there's 2 tables for acceleration enrichment, and they really make it really rich when you tip in. Like if you've ever been around a carburetor, it's like an accelerated pump. They have like because they don't want it to die. Holley's whole thing with this deal, when it comes out,
keep it running.
They want to keep it running. You know, and Rich always seems to run. You know, so you get to leaning all that out, and then I got a timing curve in it that's kind of close to what this engine wants. Where before it was still on a wizard timing curve. You know, so.
Well, that's why I brought it to you, man. I knew they ran fine, you know, and it would go a long way. I did these 7,800 miles trouble-free, but I knew there was more to it that could be refined.
And then also, like on these, and I think when you drove it one time, you had a O2 sensor failure. I think you messaged me about it. What I'll do, once we get it really close, I'll pull a whole bunch of that learn out of it and a whole bunch of the closed loop. So if the sensor does fail, it can only add 15 or 20%. It can't add 200%. And it's terrible, you know. This is like one of those GM Target kind of Good Ranch engines.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. It is a GM Crate 350 made in Mexico.
Okay.
Brand new.
We used to call them Target Masters. You know. Yeah, I
bought this, man, probably before the channel, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And I just had it sitting in the crate.
Yeah, they're like super low compression. So I'm gonna pound it full of time in here in a second.
It should be about 9 to 1, 9 to 2 to 1. I mean, it's we put we raised the compression a little bit with the heads.
Oh yeah.
Smaller CC.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But it was an 8.5 to 1 compression when we first put it together. So we got half a point or more out of it. You know my buddy Ron, right? Ron Folks?
Oh yeah.
He lives on that road right there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my new shop's gonna be right down here.
Oh, right on. There. What do you call that?
It's just lighting off the fuel in the exhaust. That's glass back cackle right there is all that is.
It's beautiful right here.
Yeah.
Not that I care about it, but as Is anything we've done today, will that increase fuel mileage?
Yes.
Because this thing was getting abysmal. I mean, like 12 miles ago.
Yeah. It'll get a bunch more now.
Yeah. Okay.
It was real low on timing and cruise.
Yeah.
Like, and y'all had like 30 degrees at wide open throttle.
Whoa.
And something like this, I've got it like 41 or 42.
Wow. Okay.
Because this low compression is so slow to burn. You've got to start that flame before. Look at the glass back stitches, man.
They are loud.
I totally dig them.
They daggum loud, son. Yeah, I love them at idle. I love them less when I'm on the interstate. It's bouncing off the concrete wall. But there's just something about it that fits.
Yeah, it's... Y'all nailed it. Like, absolutely nailed it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
172 degrees. Come on.
Cool as can be. That's one thing I care about so much, man. I cannot stand dealing with overheating issues. You can't keep them cool, man. You cannot have any fun.
No.
You just can't.
We did Power Tour one year in Impala SS and had cooling system issues. We all met at year one and jumped in my buddy's Impala.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it to Pleasant Hill before we started having issues. And I worked on that car for 3 days.
It sucks.
Yeah, it was miserable.
It's the worst thing.
I had to buy shirts at each stop because I'd used them all because I'd gotten covered in antifreeze like 3 times. Oh, it busted right here also. That thing is just singing a song at all, buddy.
It sounds great. This just excites the heck out of me, man.
Put her to the wood.
Woo! I wondered if it was ever gonna shift.
Yeah. I'm gonna move the shift down because it like runs out of air before it like you basically you kind of in the unhappy parts of the cam before it ever shifts.
I probably should have backed out there for a second.
Nah, it's all good. It ain't worth it.
It ain't fast, but it's loud.
No, not at all.
It is loud. Yeah, the cam probably runs out of breath at 55.
Yeah. I just set the shift, the wide open throttle shift to 5,500.
Yeah, I bet that's probably exactly where it comes out. Dang.
That's where you get spoiled with the LS stuff.
Oh,
it has such airflow, and you know, like your most basic 706, 862 cylinder head, like a 243 or something like that, is like it flows like the AFR does for some of these.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, the whole exhaust note at this RPM is totally different.
Yeah. We're starting to spark a lot earlier, so you don't have it. Old man taught me it's trying to run over itself.
Yeah.
So now you've started it, and it's your whole goal with timing is you want peak cylinder pressure. You want your spark event to happen at 15 degrees after top dead center. That's when it has the most leverage of shoving that piston back down.
I see.
And so sometimes you have to start it earlier to get that flame front done so it happens at that time. That's what the timing does. So, and like when you have something like, let's say an LS that, you know, like your typical Cathedral Ford LS makes max power at about 28 degrees.
Yeah.
Where this is going 40, you know, and a big block Chevrolet's like this, it wants about 40. And then like an LS3 headed deal is about 24, you know, so as the head gets more efficient, it needs less spark advance to happen at the right time. Like if you want to meet some wild ass guys, Kevin owns a junkyard. He's got a bunch of trucks and stuff. But he dirt track races and like any day you go over there and they've either flipped the loader over, set something on fire.
Just wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like that Junkyard Empire show, they ain't got shit on I mean, like if you could film what goes on there. Oh man.
That's a TV show in itself.
I was over there one day and like they had like thrown a bunch of trash in this Jeep Cherokee. They'd cut the roof off of before they were gonna crush it. And I was like, hey man, that Jeep outside's smoking. He's like, yeah, we poured a bunch of ash in it. It's all right. We're right here. And so I'm sitting there, we're just kind of BSing, you know. And this dude comes in and he's like, hey man, you know your Jeep's on fire? And Kevin's like super high strung. He's like, yeah man, I got it, what you need? And the dude's like, I got this Ranger, I needed this, that, and the other. And he's like, let's go look at it. And we go outside and that Jeep is engulfed in fire. The whole thing caught on fire, right? And he was like, oh, and every fire extinguisher didn't work. You know, we're out there trying to put this thing out with the water hose, and Brett, our UPS guy, is like, we're just laughing. Like it's just. I mean, I say it's wild. It's like Monday Night Nitro wild, wrestling wild.
Monday Night Nitro, I like that. I'm gonna have to remember that. Monday Night Nitro, wow. Yeah. And when you said Jake the Snake earlier, I'm about to come out of my skin. That was awesome. That was so cool. You gonna kill it or leave it on or
whack it one time? Yeah, we're good. Shut up. We're done. Just like that.
All right, guys, we're back from tuning Mississippi Mud. We're wrapping up the day. Eric, I can't say.
That's a cool unit, bro. That's a cool unit.
I'm glad you like it so much, man. The glass
packs, cruising down the road, windows down.
Yeah.
Man, it just feels so cool.
Takes you back a little bit, right?
Yeah, it does. It makes you just right back to being a kid.
Yes.
And like the cool guy that your dad hung out with, you know? He had this Squarebody.
Yeah.
Like, quick story, there was a guy that hung out with my dad, and we've all seen him, but like the Squarebody with the visor, the round visor, and the little cab spoiler,
absolutely,
and the A&A fiberglass thing. I don't remember this guy's name, but it was black, and it had like 10-inch rally wheels on it and glass packs, and I thought this was the coolest guy in the world. That thing sounds just like that truck.
I love it.
Just
that
like
is
that
so
truck.
Cool. Mississippi Mud's got all the nostalgia.
Except it's got overdrive.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure old dude's truck probably had a turbo 400 in it.
And a carb.
Yeah, probably a crappy one.
Yeah. Well, I'm really stoked how this thing is running. I can tell a marked difference in it. Throttle response. Tell me what you think on how it went.
Well, the big difference is like it had basically kind of a dialed up Wizard tune.
Yeah.
And like when you go in there and there's like a bunch of tables, when you set up with a Wizard, you get idle, cruise, wide open throttle.
Yeah.
And so you make that big 3D table, so as it cruises, it does that. And they have a ton of acceleration enrichment in them, so they're real fat on the tip end. We get all that dialed in, get the timing set. It was kind of out of whack, but dude, it's a good time. Like I dig it.
I dig it too.
Yeah, like I wish we had all day and we could just cruise all day long and just tell stories and burn the road up.
I know, and I can go fight Atlanta traffic, which I'm definitely not looking forward to. But this was worth it, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I texted you last week and said, hey man, I got to get this thing tuned. We talked about this 3 years ago.
Yeah,
we started putting this truck together. I put it off this long, but Eric got us fixed up, and the truck is going to be fixed up for whoever wins it. Eric says he wishes it's him. I wouldn't be mad if it was him, but it might be one of you guys. So
hopefully it's one of you guys.
You're getting a truck that just runs awesome.
Yeah,
it's
it really
dialed
does.
in, and I'm stoked, man.
Yeah, I am too. Like it's such a cool piece, and somebody is getting a super killer build.
Heck yeah!
I mean, it's like, you don't think about it. It's like all those little things.
Yeah.
The shortened column and
gauges.
Like gauges, and you're sitting in the thing, and it's got the buckets in it.
Yeah.
And you feel cool.
Yeah.
And like that's the number one thing. You feel cool in it.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, it's hot outside, but it
ain't cool. It ain't physically cool.
You feel cool in it.
But you feel cool for sure. Well, I hope you guys will go check out Eric on socials, hit his website.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of cool things going, even more so than I knew was going on when I walked in here. Like I said, I've known Eric for years. Actually met you at the Williamson Brothers in Canton before I started the channel.
Yeah. I had just started at DSE.
Yeah.
I had just took the job.
I think you told me then.
Me and Chris Dyer came over there.
Chicken City Hot Rods. That's right.
We cruised over there.
So I've known Eric for a while.
I had a 67 then, and I never got to build it because corporate hot rod building took over. But
that's cool though.
That's so cool.
I remember sitting in that back room and meeting you and Chris both.
Before it caught on fire.
Yeah, before it caught on fire. That's right. I wonder if that room's still the same.
I don't know. We need to
meet up and go.
We should make a meet.
Yeah.
United by Trucks meet, Williamson Brothers Barbecue,
Canton, Georgia. Yeah, coming soon. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you like what you've seen, smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite part of this video is. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to go check out the new Action Line Podcast YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We just started that. We've already got a couple hundred subscribers. We got a new video over there with TTR and Rick, and we're having a whole discussion about all the early UBT years. So go check out the new Action Line Podcast YouTube channel. I'll drop a link down in the description. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Folks, have we got a show for you. The two OGs of United by Trucks world, Ron Folks, better known as Two Trucks Ron, and Mr. SQRBDY himself, Rick Cheeseman. Brought to you by Tenworks Fabrication. This special new series called Off the Rails is our place for shenanigans.
You off the rail?
Off the rails, man.
I'm always off the rail, man.